Season's greetings, Gecko Math doers. Actually, season's greetings. We don't have to call for that anymore. It's not the holiday season anymore. It's the new year. And we are going to get back at this extra credit math stuff. So here we are, Gecko Math 2.0. Today we're going to work a little bit using properties and operations. And you'll find the properties will be kind of familiar. We actually covered that in math about 2 months ago. And well, you know what operations are: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Need I say more? Let's carry on. Okay, you're going to need a pencil and some paper first. Property that we've talked about in math class is the commutative property of addition. This is written in your math notebooks in the words to know section. For example, we have A plus B equals B plus A. So for example, if we took a number and substituted that in for A and B, they would equal the same exact thing as if we turned it around and we moved B plus A. Remember we talked about commuting means to move, like you would commute. You'd leave your house to go to work or to go to school. Same thing, we move the numbers around. Here's what it would look like, the commutative property of multiplication. You'll need to write this down so you don't forget it. Works the same way as this property of addition. A times B would give you the same answer as B times A. Pretty simple. Here's a goodie, oldie but a goodie. The associative property of addition. What is an associate? Remember what we compared that to in math class? Yes, an associate is like a friend or a person that you know. So let's say that A and B know one another, and then we have C kind of hanging out also. Well, we would get the same answer as if we left A to just kind of hang out and then later added that to B and C. So here, A and B were kind of hanging out, being friends, and now over here, B and C, we're still kind of hanging out, being friends. There's only one thing you need to remember. You still have to have A, B, C on this side and A, B, C on this side, but you can change who they're friends with. You still get the same answer. Now let's write this one down. The associative property of multiplication works the same way. A times B together times C is the same as A times B and C together. All right? Now notice we're not commuting. We're not moving or changing the orders around. All we're doing is changing who they're paired up with. Here it's A and B. Here it's B and C. Pretty simple. And the last one we'll talk today is called the identity property of multiplication. That rule basically says any number times 1 will always equal that number. Remember that one on a rainy day. Okay, so let's do a couple of practice problems. These are your first 3 problems that you have to practice on your own. First of all, you have to figure out what property is being used when I say -5 times 1. Which of the properties that I just talked about are we using there? The second problem is 2 plus -9 equals -9 plus 2. Which of the properties are we talking about there? Please make sure you write those answers down. Finally, 2 times P times Q together is the same as 2 times P together times Q. Which property is being used there? Be prepared to share all 3 of those tomorrow in class. Okay, well, let's try and put some of these properties and ideas to use by trying a couple of different problems. So let's see, I'm going to try, let's go with the color orange today. Feeling fancy. 4 times x times y. Well, I can see up here, if I evaluate for the expression, x is equal to -7. So I've got 4 times -7. And then y is equal to 25 times 25. Sorry about that, I hit pause on here. You know what? Let's write this in a way, let's get rid of that. And let's write this in a way that might be more common of what you would see in a math book. Let's see, 4, we'll use some parentheses here, times -7 times 25. Okay, well, the first thing I need to think about is my order of operations. I need to establish, well, I'm going to be multiplying, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some brackets around here because I'm going to be multiplying all of that stuff. But which ones do I use first? Well, I'm going to move a couple of numbers around. First of all, I'm going to use the commutative property, and I'll explain why in a second, so that I can get my math problem to look something like this. I'm going to move my -7 over, okay? I'm just going to switch places first of all with my -4, okay, just like that. I'm going to put them in brackets together to show that I'm using those two together. That's what I'm switching around. And I'll keep 25 in the same place, okay? Here's why I use the commutative property. Now, that frees me up to do this. -7. And then in these brackets, I'm going to have 4 times 25. That's easier for me to do in my head. So let's see, 4 times 25. Well, that leaves me with -7 times 4 times 25 gives me 100. So now I'm left with -7 times 100. That would give me an answer of, let's see, I've got a negative times a positive, so I know that will give me a negative. 7 times 100 is 700. Sorry, kind of ran out of space there. All right, part of your homework tonight, I'd like you to try 10 times x times y. And again, x is equal to -7, and y is equal to 25. Give it a shot. Let's see what you come up with tomorrow. If you don't know how to organize it quite like I did right here, that's okay. What I'd like you to use, though, is see if you can use the commutative property like I did, so that we can change the positions of numbers, and then go to the associative property like I did and change who we're going to group it with. See what you come up with. Good luck. Okay, well, let's try using some of our other rules right here. So first of all, I've got 3 plus x plus 6. Well, if I establish my order of operations, I guess I'll be starting with addition. However, I don't know that I like what I'm going to be adding 3 plus 6 or x plus 6, so let's do some moving around. So here's what we'll try. I've got my 3 plus x together plus 6. All right, well, I'm going to move those two around, so now I'll be at x plus 3 plus 6. And now I'm left with x plus 3 plus 6. Sorry. Okay, I'm not doing any more moving around, so I'm not going to use brackets on that part. Now I'm going to use the associative property, and rather than add the x plus 3, we'll add the x plus 6, or the 3 plus the 6. Sorry about that. And that leaves me with x plus 9. I can't really do anything more than that because I can't add my variables onto my integer. So I'm left with x plus 9. For part of your homework tonight, I'd like you to try this, 6 plus x plus 11. Give it a shot. Let's see what you come up with. Okay? All right. And let's go on to the next one. Now I'm left with -2 plus y plus 8. So first of all, I'm going to need to do some changing around. So let's see, I've got -2 plus y in brackets plus 8. All right, so first of all, let's change around. Let's use our commutative property. So I'm now switching them around. Y plus -2 plus 8. And now let's take a look at using the associative property. Y plus, -2 plus 8. All right. Well, -2 plus 8. Let's see. I've got a negative plus a positive, so I'm actually going to have to subtract the 2 from the 8. That leaves me with 6. And 8 has the higher absolute value, so I know that's a positive number. So I'm left with, y plus 6. There's my answer. For your homework tonight, I'd like you to try this one. 4 times 8 times y together. Again, try it like I did. First of all, start with your commutative property, see if you can move some things around, and then what I would like you to do is use the associative property. Good luck. If you have any questions, we'll answer them tomorrow in class.